You know, on a wind-driven lake, it's crucial to find wind, shoreline areas with a little bit deeper water, and invariably there's always going to be walleyes there. The reason they're usually there is they're relating to that shoreline edge and that wind-driven water to turbulent or make the water a little bit dirtier, or if it's crystal clear water, it still diffuses the visibility as far as the ripples on top of the water cut down the sunlight, and in turn the walleyes have a predator-prey advantage over the bait fish that they're eating. What do you do though when there's no wind and you're on a lake that's crystal clear? A lot of times what I'll do is I'll search for what I call a leftover wind. I'll drive along the shoreline and go to where there was wind the day before, especially if it was a real heavy wind. There'll still be dirty water along that shoreline. There'll still be fish relating to those bait fish. It's a leftover bite. And most anglers, even when the wind switches the next day and they go to the opposite side of the lake, that end might have not had a chance to catch up enough. You have to sometimes let wind pound into an area before it gets rocking and rolling. So the next time you're out fishing and you're wanting to try to find some walleyes in crystal clear water, or in a lake that doesn't have any wind, go to where there was wind the day before and you're going to catch a lot more fish. When you're targeting these fish, a lot of times what I like to use is the lightest jig possible when I'm pitching up shallow. If there's a lot of wind, I'm going to use a heavy jig. But if there's no wind, I'm going to use a lighter jig, say like a 1/16 ounce or an 1/8 ounce jig head. If I'm working that area and pitching to the shoreline and the wind comes up, I'm going to want to change to a heavier jig. As long as I can feel it and keep that big bow out of my line, work the jig properly, I'm going to catch more fish. The product that I love to use is the Exchange jig head, because what I can do a lot of times is I can snap off a lighter head, especially once the wind comes up, and I can go to a heavier head and just snap that right back on, pitch it right back in the water, and therefore I don't have to have a cluster of rods up on the deck of the boat to where I have to reach down and keep grabbing rigged rods and stumbling over the top of them. I can virtually get it all done with one rod.